What's up guys, I'm Black Room Boy and welcome to my Black Room. Now I've got a few interesting videos for you today, 4 in fact. All of them follow the theme of projection mapping, which is cool. I said I was going to do themed episodes and this is one of them. First, a little bit of housekeeping though. There wasn't an episode last week. I didn't think that was much of a big deal because I haven't got any subscribers yet, so that's fine. Didn't feel pressure to release something that was half finished. But the reason for that was I had a lot of problems with editing and like rendering and that kind of thing. I think I've managed to sort the problem, or at least minimise it, but if it does happen again I've just got to release these episodes because otherwise I'm just going to get like, you know, a big pile up of stuff. So if there are the occasional like green flickers, you know, please forgive me, I am working on it, and they only seem to be in these sections here, the sections that I'm filming, not in the videos, so it shouldn't disturb those. But yeah, it's a problem I'm working on, and you know, bear with me. It's going to take a little bit of time for me to sort of perfect the editing, perfect the sort of flow of the show, the lighting and everything. My lights are not great at the moment, neither is my backdrop. All that kind of stuff will be refined in time, so it's still early days yet, so yeah. Anyway, the videos we've got for you today. 4 videos, like I said, not 5. I'm thinking about going to 4 because it allows me to show more of the clips, you know, in the video instead of squeeze them into a small space. And I think that's better than trying to cram 5 in, because it gives you a better idea of what the videos are. So, 4 videos, all with a theme of projection mapping. Because of that, they're similar in some ways, but in other ways they are drastically different. Okay, so first video in today's showcase is Projections in the Forest. Now, Projections in the Forest is, like I said, a very emotional kind of video. It follows the journey that 2 artists have while spending 6 weeks in a forest. They projection map stuff onto leaves, onto mushrooms, onto insects and stuff. It's very, very cool. It's a very peaceful, very calming, and even though it utilises lots of modern technology, it's a very natural video. In the way that it's shot and the kind of sound effects and stuff that are used. It's the perfect blend between nature and technology whilst still keeping it very natural, if that makes sense. It's definitely worth a watch, and I hope you enjoy it. Artists Frederick Van Shaw and Tarek Madwad spent 6 weeks in the forest, fascinated by the silence and natural occurrences in nature, especially the phenomenon of bioluminescence. Using only projection, without the aid of post-production, they personified the forest to accentuate its natural beauty, creating luring luminescent plants and glowing magical mushrooms that speak volumes to any visitor, allowing access into the minds of the artists during their illuminating experience. The infusion of nature's echoes and the piano composition by Akim Trio truly bring the scene to life, and aid considerably in intensifying the emotions felt during its witnessing. With the use of soft, slow movement and shallow depth of field, Projections in the Forest is just as relaxing to watch as it would have been to be present in the scene. Okay, so the second video is called Omote. Now, Omote isn't an artistic video in the same sense as the first one was. This is more of a showcase of the technology that they're using within this video, which includes projection mapping, obviously, and 3D facial tracking as well. It's very, very cool. It still is artistic. There's lots of stuff sort of going into it that makes it very creative. And it's not just like a boring kind of like digital makeup kind of thing, you know, there's some very cool effects and stuff that are used as well. So here we go. More of a tech demo than an artistic piece, Project Omote demonstrates a use for projection mapping that is far from the norm. Utilising real-time facial tracking in combination with projection mapping, the team behind this project create an almost seamless, ever-changing illusion that is startlingly realistic. It is only when they begin to fully demonstrate the method that it becomes obvious that something unusual is in play, and if it weren't for the initial setup, many would be easily fooled into believing a makeup artist was responsible. It is, however, the demonstrations in the latter portion of the film that are the most mind-bending, the model's face parting to make way for a cybernetic interior being particularly fascinating. There are even examples of real-time reflections being projected, perhaps hinting towards the future of military applications, such as camouflage. This video, and other tech demos like it, are a glimpse into the future, and it's always exciting to wonder what creative applications these technologies could be used for once they become more refined and accessible. Third video, Box. Now Box has been one of my favourite videos for a very long time. I'm not going to say too much about it in this little opener. I'm not going to say too much about it in my narration either. That's because I think it should really be experienced. Especially with a good pair of headphones, full screen, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's really worth a watch, and here we go. Box explores the synthesis of real and digital space through projection mapping onto moving surfaces. The short film by Bot and Dolly documents a live performance captured entirely in camera. The most unique projection mapping sequence I've seen, Box demonstrates different states of matter such as transformation, teleportation, levitation and intersection in a way that seems to defy reality. It is not simply the projection that brings this film to life though, as the scene is also integral to the demonstration, looking eerily like a secret scientific experiment. The music and sound effects are also key, both helping to bring the projection to life. This is an incredibly immersive video that will leave you mesmerised, and with the need to share it with everyone that you know. Okay, fourth and final video for today is an unofficial New Balance sneaker advert. I'm not used to saying sneaker, I'm used to saying trainer, but I'll say sneaker because that's what it says in the title. Yeah, so this is quite a basic video in comparison to the others, but I included it for the same reason that I included the Omote video, in the sense that it demonstrates a very real-world application of this technology. And I know this creative showcase is for creative videos, but I do think that when you're dealing with a technology like projection mapping and that kind of thing, you know, looking at it in a very real-world way is equally cool, you know. So this one is a bit more plain, but it's still very, very cool. And essentially all it is a trainer sneaker with stuff projected on it. Might not sound very interesting, but it's very cool, and it's even cooler when you consider the possibilities of this in, you know, like trying out clothes and stuff in the future. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. An unofficial project for New Balance, this projection map sequence created by Hayoung Jung really captures the eyes of its audience, and I would imagine the eyes of the brand managers over at New Balance too. This sequence projects neon outlines, multiple colour layouts and motion graphics onto a regular sneaker, all in time with an upbeat techno track. In a hypnotising show of precision, I marvel at the possibilities that this technique could accomplish when it comes to trying on clothes in a shop. I may finally be able to find something that suits me, other than black of course. Okay, so those were the 4 videos. Remember, there's only going to be 4 videos from now on, unless I get a staggering amount of feedback saying we want 5 again. But of course the reason for having 4 is it allows me to show more of each clip. As always, links to everything that I've mentioned, everything that I've shown, are down below. Be sure to check them out, show your appreciation for the to the artists that create these videos. Whether you've got a big team, whether you're one person by yourself, everybody appreciates feedback, everybody appreciates somebody else appreciating their work. So be sure to do that. Like my video if you liked it and if you want to see more. Be sure to subscribe. I know it's been a bit patchy for the last couple of weeks, but as I get everything a little bit more refined, you know, we'll get into a more solid date for when each episode is going to be released. But I will do one a week, even if it's not necessarily released on that week, if there's like a technical problem or something. But I'm really gonna push and make an effort because I want this to be good. And yeah, I know the production quality of this show is not really here yet, but I am working on it. Everything's getting a little bit more refined as time goes on. There's a couple of little difficulties. You know, I'm dealing with a student budget. I've got a tiny little space, and I've recently updated my camera to full frame, and all my lenses are FX for those camera buffs that know what that means. So it's going to take me a little while to get everything sorted, but the videos that I'm showing are really good quality, so you know, it's worth it for those, hopefully. And yeah, that was our 3rd episode. Stay tuned for the 4th. It'll be coming out next week, and see you later.